Hello again and thanks for joining. Today we've got a very old Hornby model. It's actually coming from a time when these models are still made in Great Britain, and you can see it was Rovex Ltd and not actually Hornby. This one is number R51S, and S means that it has a smoke feature on this model. It's a Class 57XX Pannier Tank Engine, and this was originally released back in 1972. So this is over 50 years old, and they had this smoke feature back then. Quite interested to see what this model's like. Lots of people have been reissuing this Pannier Tank Engine just recently, but this one, dating back over 50 years, let's check it out and see what we've got inside the box. So this one still has the original instructions. This is just about how to set up a Hornby railway. However, up here you have a stamp which shows that this is R51S, and you can see, I guess this is a manufacturing date 07/06/1972. Quite incredible that this is still surviving. On the back of the leaflet it shows how to lubricate various different models that you can get at the time. And down here you can see Rovex Ltd, Westwood, Margate and Kent, made in Great Britain. Fantastic. This model still has the original little funnels here and oil that you can put inside to make the smoke. These say Triang on them, but it actually says made in West Germany, so that's quite interesting that the oil and this part of the model was actually made in West Germany, the rest of it was made in the UK. Now the smoke feature on these models was nothing more than just a little oil burner. You would burn this stuff and it would make some smoke come out the top of the chimney. I actually found the smell of this really bad, and I think it comes from a time when health and safety wasn't such an issue because you were burning oil on your models and breathing in the vapour, which I'm sure isn't really that good. Modern day smoke systems use water, I believe, so therefore it's just water vapour rather than actual smoke from oil like this model. I'm not actually going to run this with the smoke coming out of the chimney because I don't like the smell of these things, and I don't think we should really open these. They've lasted over 50 years like this, so I think that's quite a good thing to keep. But we can check out the locomotive anyway. So here is the Pannier Tank Engine, and it's done in this kind of glossy green plastic. It has little parts which are painted black, like the front here around the smoke box door and around the chimney. We've got an extra piece here, a piece of metal that's added in at the top of the chimney. And we've got some fantastically bright chrome on this part here, and the whistle has been added in as an extra part. This does look as though it should have two, and maybe one has disappeared at some point in the past. And you can see that a moulding mark over the top here and another moulding mark on the top of the dome. Not a lot of detail moulded into the piece of plastic, but it does have an acceptable amount on it. The cab has no details inside, though you can see it has the motor in there, and it also has no glazing at all. The Great Western Railway transfer is starting to wear away on the side of this one, and it fares no better on the other side either. We've got some coal in the bunker, which isn't a great moulding. We do have rivets over the top of the roof though, and it is picked out in black, and it's been masked off pretty well too. The buffer beams are a nice shade of red, and we have these buffers which are a nice little moulding as well. Typical Hornby big coupling hanging out the back. This one's had a few bashes over the years. And we also have the metal coupling at the front as well, which dominates the front of this locomotive. But you can see that you can take it off if you want because there's a screw underneath there. So the buffer beam looks pretty good, quite a handsome little locomotive this one. But looking down at the running gear, not much down here at all. It's a metal casting though. And we've got metal wheels with black inserts painted in, and a metal connecting rod as well. Very crude screws on it and probably overscale, but it is made of metal though. You can see the pickups happen here with these little sliders on the inside of the wheels, and we've got drive to the centre wheel here. Here we have a screw which holds this model together, so I think we should take that off and we'll have a look inside. So it is a metal chassis here, and we have the motor up here, just a 3-pole motor on this one, but it does have metal gears. This is a smoke area here where we've got a little panel that lifts off, and you can see inside there where the oil goes and gets heated up and burnt off. It does say on the top there, Triang X392 built in Britain. And we have this gear wheel here running off the main drive, which has a little cam on it there. I guess that's to make little puffs come through here, which is a real neat little arrangement, and fantastic that this is over 50 years old and they were already thinking along those lines. Anyway, let's see if this actually works. Let's put it on the test track and we'll see if we can get it running. Okay, I've just put the chassis on the track here. This is some old Hornby third radius track as normal, and I'm using my H&M controller on 12 volts DC just to power this model. So let's give it some juice and see what happens. So we've got some problems here. It seems to be just shorting out, not quite sure why. So let's investigate and see if we can get this running. This is the base plate underneath the bottom of the wheels here, and it has a little connector at this point which connects onto this wire here, but the actual solder had broken over time, so this wasn't actually making a secure connection. That was causing a problem. So I'm just going to have to solder this piece back onto here and then put the whole thing back together. Well, that's quite incredible. With just a minimal amount of repair, we've got this locomotive running, and it runs really good as well. It is a bit noisy, I guess that's to be expected, but it has no problems even crawling at a slow speed as well. So let's put this on the scales and we'll see how much it weighs. So this model comes in at 218 grams. So Hornby's old Great Western Railway tank engine, it's certainly a survivor. Being that it is over 50 years old now, it's still going strong and only need a small number of repairs to get going. It's actually very easy to work on this model as well, and it's proved that it can be reliable over many years. There are a lot of new versions of this tank engine coming out at the moment. I wonder how many of those will be working in 50 years time. I'm not quite sure. This one has certainly proven its worth. I'm not sure the smoke system works on this. I wasn't really interested in trying it because I just don't like the smell, and I'm not actually sure it's really that safe. But as a little tank engine, this model certainly runs no problem at all, and I think it could go on to run for many years still, maybe another 50 years, who knows. It's certainly testament to how good Hornby built their models back in the day. This one, made in Great Britain in the 70s, it was a time when there was a lot of trouble here in the UK, and yet this has been manufactured to a very good standard and a very robust standard as well. So I think this is a great little survivor, a wonderful vintage model as well. But that's just what I think. What do you think about this model? And if you have one of these as well, how old is yours and is it still going as well? Let me know in the comments below. Love to know your thoughts on it. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. I'll put this on the turntable so you can see all the way around. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See ya.